project I think you should start with as a beginner crochet artist or as a person who's making their first crochet project. Previously, I shared a video where I said there's some specific project that I wouldn't advise you to start with. So if you watch that video and questioning what you should start with, I think those will be great ideas. It is important to note too that what I'm gonna say is not specifically just name of project, but more like specific advice or what type of yarns and thing to start with as a beginner artist. So my first advice would be to use t-shirt yarn. It's a thicker yarn. It doesn't give you the problem that normal yarn that I'm still not used to do and handle with. And you can make a cute bag or a cute basket with, which will be very easy and a very beginner friendly project. Also with this kind of yarn you can use like 4mm hook or bigger hooks, which will make the project less time consuming and you will see a result very fast, which will be very encouraging and rewarding for you. I would also recommend making scarves, or actually any project that's not so big yet uses the same stitch over and over and over, so you don't lose count while making it, or you don't need to be very focused on while making it, so you just get your hand used to the idea of moving naturally with the yarn. So I think a scarf is a great idea here. I wouldn't recommend a blanket though, because it's really time consuming, and although you are making the same stitch over and over, you will get bored not seeing your result fast, and also the tension will be very different from the very beginning to the end, so it won't turn out as you imagined it. My third advice will be making anything, and I mean anything, mesh. Mesh is a stitch that very easy and uses only two fundamental stitch when you learn crocheting, which is the chain and the double crochet. It's very easy, it's very lightweight, so you can make it into a bag, into a top, into a scarf, into a bandana, anything you want or desire, and it's very easy to learn, so it can be your first project. Besides that, the option with the mesh stitch is endless, so you can make anything you want with it. I also always advise very beginner crochet artists to start with small project, not because every small project is friendly or beginner friendly. It's not the case. Some of those projects are hard, but with a small project the result is fast and you won't feel guilty for the amount of the yarn that it took or the waste that happened. Also, if you decide to frog in it, you won't feel guilty or sad about it, and you can see yourself getting better with every small project. Example of those projects I'm talking about would be a keychain, a coaster, a bandana, a choker, a pouch bag. It's limitless. The fifth tip will be to make one color granny square, and I don't usually recommend granny squares because some of those design and shapes can be really complex, but the one color one is very easy, and also it will reveal the pressure of what should be your first project, because granny squares have a limitless options, so you can just make them until you get comfortable and then just connect them to make a cardigan or a blouse or whatever you desire for, even like a blanket. So it's a limitless option and a very easy one, and one that will help you get used to dealing with yarn. Lastly, I will just give some tips with choosing the right yarn. So I already said that t-shirt yarn would be a great start for a beginner, but also it can be expensive. So if you are buying yarns, just try to not buy a very cheap yarn, because working with it is hard. Don't buy any very dark colors, because those are hard to see when you are working with, and avoid thin yarn at all costs. And I hope that was helpful, and this is the finished result of my project or work today. See you soon.